I'll be straight with you. This whole mess started with a key, one stupid little key to my garage, and ended up blowing the lid off the HOA's corruption. If you've ever wondered how far people will go to control what isn't theirs, buckle up, because this ride goes from absurd to criminal faster than you can say community guidelines. My name's Mark Ellison. I'm a Finnish carpenter, the kind of guy who can spend an afternoon making sure a corner is square enough to make a machinist smile. I finally saved enough to buy into a place called Willow Creek Meadows, a neighborhood that promised peace and quiet. The lawns all looked like they came out of the same cookie cutter, but I didn't care. What sold me was the garage, a two-car sanctuary, where I could keep my tools, tinker with projects, and most importantly, park my grandfather's 1971 Triumph Bonneville. That bike is my family heirloom, candy blue paint, polished chrome, and the smell of gasoline mixed with memory. A week after I moved in, I also hauled in a safe I'd won at a storage auction. Massive, 4 feet tall, heavy as a bulldozer's wheel. I didn't even know what was inside, just liked the mystery. Parked it in the corner, left it alone. Life was quiet until the letter came. The HOA president, Diane Walker, called a mandatory meeting. Now Diane has that smile politicians practice in mirrors, the kind that looks friendly until you notice her eyes are busy calculating what to take from you. She stood up in the clubhouse, rattling on about community safety. Then she dropped the bomb: every homeowner must give the HOA a key to their garage for emergency access. I raised my hand. Nope. She tried to sweet-talk me. It's mandatory, Mark, for your safety, for everyone's safety. I told her flat out, the fire department has axes. They'll get in faster than you. That line got a couple muffled laughs, but Diane's smile cracked into pink-faced rage. She leaned in with this syrupy threat: failure to comply will result in fines, and if you open that garage without approval, we'll call 911, right there in front of 50 neighbors. The next day, a $50 fine was taped to my door. I ripped it up and opened my garage anyway, sunlight pouring over my Triumph. Across the street, Diane stood on her porch, phone pressed to her ear, waving like a queen, sending her guards. 20 minutes later, a police cruiser rolled up. The officer, Sergeant Miller, looked at my open garage, my toolbox, my title, my deed. He turned to Diane: "Ma'am, this is a civil matter, not a police issue, and don't call 911 again unless it's real." Watching her get scolded by an actual cop was pure comedy. But Diane wasn't done. A week later, I heard a grinding noise in the middle of the night. Checked my security cam feed and nearly broke the phone in my hand. 2 figures in my garage. One big guy with a drill sparking against my safe. The other, Diane's boyfriend, Kevin. My blood boiled. But instead of charging out there like a lunatic, I hit a button on my sprinkler app. See, I'd rigged a special line with blue chalk dust, just a dumb carpenter's prank system. Suddenly, the side door exploded with a mist of bright blue slurry coating both of them head to toe like the Smurf twins. They stumbled, slipped, crashed into each other, left a trail of blue footprints running down the street. And I had every second on video. The next morning, I invited Sergeant Miller in for coffee, showed him the footage. He shook his head, half smiling. "That's attempted burglary, Mark. And that's Kevin, all right. He got a judge's warrant to open the safe properly so nobody could accuse me of hiding evidence." When the locksmith finally cracked it, we all leaned in. Inside, stacks of cash, fake IDs with Kevin's face under different names, and the crown jewel, a black ledger full of dates, payments, and initials. Every entry lined up perfectly with HOA projects, pool repairs, drainage, clubhouse roof. Money marked paid to Kevin's shell company, and every penny missing from the HOA budget. It was theft hidden behind community fees. Word spread fast. Diane tried one more stunt, sent a tow crew with a forklift to remove an unapproved hazardous structure, meaning my safe. Lucky for me, my neighbor Sam, retired contractor with a full-size backhoe, rolled it across the street and parked it like a guard dog in front of my garage. The crew packed up and left before Diane's screeching voice could finish barking through their phone. Then the storm hit. Torrential rain turned our cul-de-sac into a river. The drain at the end, the one Diane swore was fixed, was clogged solid. I spotted a little boy, Timmy, 6 years old, and his golden retriever stuck waist-deep in the swirling water. No time to think. I charged in, grabbed Timmy in one arm, the dog's collar in the other, and hauled them out, both of them shaking and crying. His mom clung to him like she'd never let go again. And every neighbor watching knew this flood was caused by money Diane and Kevin stole. That night, one of Diane's own board members, quiet little Angela, knocked on my door with a folder of financial records. She was shaking, scared, but she said, "I can't keep quiet anymore." We spread her documents across my kitchen table, paired them with my videos, with the ledger, with the photo of me carrying Timmy out of the water. It wasn't just evidence, it was a story. Their story told through their own lies. We started a petition to recall Diane. Needed 25 signatures, but I wanted 50. So we went door to door showing neighbors the evidence. At first, people hesitated. Diane had ruled through fear for years. But once they saw Kevin's blue chalk faceplant, once they saw the ledger lined up with their own HOA bills, the pens started moving. Mrs. Jensen, Timmy's mom, rallied the parents, and by the end of the week, we had 33 signatures, more than enough. The night of the meeting, the community center was packed shoulder to shoulder. Diane sat up front, beaming like she still had the crown. She tried to cut me off, gave me 3 minutes. I walked to the podium, took a breath, and said, "Let's be transparent. First slide me carrying Timmy through the flood." The room gasped. Next slide, her 911 call, shrieking lies. Then Sergeant Miller's body cam, calm and professional, shutting her down. Then the break-in footage, silent at first, then roaring laughter when the chalk exploded. Finally, the ledger next to the HOA bank statements, dollar for dollar, stolen. Diane lost it, screaming, "He's lying. He refuses to follow the rules." This all started because he wouldn't give me a key. And that's when it hit me. I pulled my garage key out of my pocket, held it up to the crowd, and said, "You want fairness, Diane? Let's trade. My garage key for your house key. Fair's fair, right?" The room erupted. It wasn't laughter, it was release, years of fear melting in one roar. The vote was called. Nearly every hand shot up. Diane's face went white as chalk. Sergeant Miller stepped forward, cuffs in hand. "Diane Walker, you're under arrest for embezzlement and conspiracy. Kevin Brooks attempted burglary and fraud." The click of handcuffs was louder than thunder. After that, the neighborhood changed. Angela was voted interim president. Transparency became the rule. We fixed the drain ourselves, neighbors brought food, kids drew arrows with chalk showing the new water flow, and for the first time, Willow Creek felt like a community. As for me, I finally got back to restoring my Triumph garage door open, sun pouring in the street, calm again. But here's the thing. Diane wasn't the first HOA tyrant, and she sure won't be the last. So tell me, if your HOA demanded a key to your garage, would you hand it over, or would you stand your ground like I did? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your own HOA horror stories, and let's see how many of us believe our homes are still our castles.